welcome to your practice. Today we're going to stretch out the hip flexors, strengthen the posterior chain and flow, and hopefully feel good in our bodies. We'll go ahead and start in a seated position, whether that's virasana or a cross-legged position is up to you. But let your hands rest lightly on your knees or thighs, or if you prefer on your belly, that's lovely as well. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, please do so. Take a big breath in, sigh out your mouth. And now find some steadiness in and out of your nose. Try to even out inhales and exhales. Bring your attention inward. And as we move and flow today, try to stay present with the breath. When you're ready, blink your eyes open. Here we go. Come up onto hands and knees for a tabletop position. As always in tabletop, hands wide or slightly dialed out, just like you would for down dog. And we'll start with just some easy cat-cow. So drop your belly down, pull your chest forward, lift your chin gently. Exhale, push the ground away, round your upper back. So just warming up a little bit. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Inhale. Be mindful of your lower back as you drop into a little back bend here. Exhale, round. And then one more. Inhale, drop your belly, pull your chest forward, spin your biceps forward. Exhale and round. Come into a neutral spine. Take your right leg back, ball of your foot on the floor, and spin your inner right thigh to the ceiling. Hug your left hip in, lift your frontal hip bones. Now take your left fingertips forward, bicep spins to the front of your room. And on your inhale, lift your arm and your leg. Don't worry about how high off the ground you're lifting. Try to stay neutral in your spine. Take an inhale and reach. Exhale, crunch your elbow to your knee. Inhale, lengthen. Pause here, exhale, bend your right knee, reach back. Try to tickle your toes, but don't grab your foot. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee again. Inhale, reach. Again, we're going to do that. Bend your right knee, reach your left fingertips back. Maybe lift your chest a little more. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more. Reach it long. Exhale, bend your right knee, reach back with your left fingertips. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release it down. Take your left leg back, ball of your foot on the floor. Frontal hip bones lift, right fingertips forward. Inhale, lift away from the ground. Again, don't worry about the height. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Pause here, bend your left knee, reach back with your right fingertips. Again, you don't have to touch your foot, you're just kind of reaching in that direction. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend your knee, reach back, tickle your toes. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Again, reach back, tickle them toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release it down. Take your hands a little wider, slightly dialed out, and let's cruise it up and back into down dog. So pedal down dog out for a moment, and then we're gonna get a little bit more into the hip flexors here. Now from your down dog, go ahead and lift your right leg up. Bend your knee and open up your hip, but I want you to focus on using your hamstring to pull your heel a little closer to your tush. As you do that, push your right thigh towards the left, open up your hip, and make sure your left hip stays spacious. So maybe you feel this a little bit more in your hip flexor. If you have a little bit more in you, you can bring your left forearm down to the ground just for added fun. Go ahead and lift your left forearm, square your hip off, and place your right foot on the ground. Inhale, lift your left leg up, bend your knee, open your hip, and again, use your hamstring to pull your heel towards your tush. Push your thigh towards the right, and then maybe bring your right forearm down to the ground for a little added fun. Oops, foot sliding. Go ahead and lift your elbow, square your hip off, place your foot on the ground. Take a big breath in here, reach for your arms. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Keep your feet hips distance in a forward fold. Maybe sway it out a little bit, shake your head. Bring your hands to your hips, a bend in your knees. And now pinch your elbows together using your upper back muscles. Stand all the way up. All right, here we go. Starting in mountain pose. Press into your big toes. Lift your thighs from your outer hips in. And now shift your weight over into your left foot. Pin that hip into the midline. Draw your navel to your spine. Lift your right leg up. Don't worry about how high you're lifting. From there, bring your right knee next to your left knee and prioritize the standing leg. Firm the hip in. From there, just very gently press your right thigh back. bend your knee more. So it's all hamstring here. Push your thigh back, stretching the hip flexor. Use your hamstring to bend your knee. Now from there, bend your left knee, maintain that hip firming into the midline, and gently step your right toes back, reach your arms up, lower your right knee down. Now make sure your feet about hips distance apart or so. Very subtle movement here. On an inhale, sink your hips a little bit forward, not deeply. Exhale, push into your left heel and draw your hips a little bit back. And then inhale, drop down just a touch. It's not dramatic. Exhale, lift your hips back up. One more, inhale. And exhale, reach up. Bring your hands down to the ground. Slide your left foot all the way back so the ball of your foot's on the floor. Take your right fingertips forward. Lift your arm, lift your leg. Now again, bend your left knee, reach back with your right fingertips. Perhaps catch your foot this time, lift your heart. Inhale, reach it long. Bring your hand back down to the ground, spin on your right knee, take your right foot out to the side, sole of your left foot down. Reach up and over your ear, now stretching out the left side body. Circle your left hand to the ground, your right toes back in line with your knee. Curl your right toes under, lift your left leg up, open up your hip, pull your heel towards your tush. Square your hip off and place your left foot down on the ground. Inhale, lift your right leg up, open it up. Step your right foot all the way forward. Stay on the ball of your back foot and come up into crescent pose. Now you can bend your back knee a little bit if you like. Lift your frontal hip bones up, hug your inner thighs together. If you have a little bit more, you're a little more open in the front body, you can work your left leg a little bit straighter, but you don't have to. If you feel crunchiness in your lower back, it's not what we're looking for. Inhale, reach up. And now shift the weight forward into your right foot, step up. Left foot, hips distance apart from your right. Try to pull your feet apart, Utkatasana. Lift your frontal hip bones up, reach. Press into your heels to come all the way up to stand. All right, let's see if I can remember how to do that on the other side. Shift over into your right foot. Pin your hip into the midline, draw your navel back, squeeze your glute. Lift your left leg, again, don't worry about how high your leg is. Bring your left knee next to your right, and then just gently push your thigh bone back in space. Pull your heel towards your tush. Push your thigh bone back in space. Pull your heel towards your tush. And now slowly bend your right knee, step your left toes to the back of the mat. Reach your arms, lower your left knee down. So again, it's a really subtle movement. I'm not dropping my hips all the way towards the ground. But inhale, sink your hips a little closer to your right heel. Exhale, push into your right heel, lift your hips up, squeeze your glutes. Again, inhale, drop your hips just slightly. Exhale, lift back up, lift your frontal hip bones. One more, inhale. And exhale. From here, bring your hands down to the ground, slide your right foot back, ball of your foot on the floor, left fingertips forward, and now lift up away from the ground. Bend your right knee, reach back, perhaps you catch your foot this time, you don't have to. Lift your chest, inhale. Exhale, reach it long. Bring your hand down to the ground, curl your right toes, spin on your left knee, spin the ball of the right foot down to the ground, reach your right arm overhead, squeeze your glutes. Hand to the ground, bring your left knee back, toes in line with your knee, curl your toes under, lift your right leg up and back, open your hip. Square your hip off, place your right foot on the floor. Inhale, lift your left leg up, open your hip, pull your heel towards your tush. Square your hip off, step your left foot forward, stay on the ball of your back foot, crescent pose. Now again, you can bend your back knee a little bit, lift your frontal hip bones up, hug your inner thighs together, reach up, inhale. Putting the weight into your left foot, step your right foot up, feet hips distance, try to pull your feet apart. Feel your hamstrings engage here. Frontal hip bones lift, press to stand, and release it down. All right, we're gonna slowly build on that. From here, shift the weight into your left foot again. Pin your hip in, draw your navel back. Lift your right leg. Bring your right knee to match your left. And then as you push your thigh bone back and pull your heel towards your tush, perhaps you reach back with your right hand and catch your foot for a little dancer's pose. If you're not quite there, you just keep using your hamstring to pull your heel towards your tush. Slowly, no slingshot, release the foot. Bend your left knee, step your right toes back, lower your right knee down. This time, bring both hands down to the inside edge of your left foot. Heel tug your left foot over a little bit. I like to scooch my right knee back. Pull your chest forward. Broaden your collarbones. Find a gentle lift of your frontal hip bones. And from there, bend your right knee again. Reach your left arm forward like we did in the tabletop position, and then swim it back so you can catch your foot. Pulling your heel towards your tush, lift your frontal hip bones, breathe. On your exhale, release your foot, hands down. From here, slide your left leg back, ball of your foot on the floor, pivot on your right knee, taking your right foot out to the side, sole of your left foot down, reach up. Now, added fun here, just for shits and giggles, lift your left leg up. And if you want to, try to bend your left knee, reach with your left hand to catch your foot. Slowly release. Bring your left hand down to the ground. Right toes back in line with your knee. Curl your toes under. Lift your left leg up. Open up your hip. And release your left foot down to the ground. All right, inhale. Lift your right leg up. Again, open it up. Exhale, square your hip off. Step your right foot forward. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Come on up into crescent pose. Now in crescent pose, you're going to lean forward over your front thigh 45 degrees and pause. Drive straight down into your right heel. Try to pull your right hip crease back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Really feel your back body engage. From there, shift forward. Come into a Virabhadrasana 3 variation where your hands are back by your hips. Keep pinching your shoulder blades together. Use your glute and your hamstring to lift your left leg. Bend your right knee. Come into chair pose. Inhale. Press to stand. Exhale. Whew. I'm sweating a little bit. Okay. Other side. Here we go. Shift over into your right foot. Pin your hip into the midline, navel to your spine. Lift your left leg. Bring your left knee next to your right. Start to push your thigh bone back. Bend your knee. Perhaps your left fingertips go back and easily catch your foot. And you can take it into a little dancer's pose. It doesn't have to be the biggest thing you've ever done. Firm the right hip in. Inhale. Slowly release your left foot gracefully as you can. Step to the back of the mat. Reach up. Lower your left knee down. Both hands come to the inside edge of your right foot. Heel toe your left foot over. I like to angle my foot and toes out evenly, or toes and knee out evenly. Scooch the left knee back a little bit. Pull your chest forward. Find a little bit of an up dog effort. From there, bend your left knee. Reach back with your right hand. Try to catch your foot. If you can't, you're using your hamstring to pull your heel towards your tush. Inhale. On your exhale, slowly release. Hand to the ground. With your right knee as it is, slide your right toes back. Pivot on your left knee. Bring the sole of your right foot down. Shift over your left knee. Reach your right arm over. Now you can stay here or you can pick your foot up. You can stay here or you can bend your knee. Try to catch your foot. Kick your foot into your hand. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, circle your hand down to the mat. Curl your left toes under. Sweep your right leg up and back. Open your hip. Place your foot down on the ground. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Open up your hip. Exhale, square your hip off. Step your foot forward. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Crescent pose. So you can do a little bend in your knee. Frontal hip bones lift. Lean out over your front thigh. Pinch your shoulder blades together and pause. So drive straight down into your left heel. That should activate your left hammy. Hug your inner thighs together. Feel your posterior chain all the way from your shoulders to your calf. Engage. From there, step forward into Virabhadrasana 3. Use your hamstring and your glute to lift your right leg. Lean forward. Keep your shoulder heads lifted. Inhale, belly button to spine. Exhale, bend your left knee. Place your foot down. Inhale. Chair pose. Press to stand. And release it down. Okay. One more cycle. Inhale, shift over into your left foot. Hug your left hip into the midline again. Lift your right knee. Bring your right knee next to your left, taking it into a dancer's pose. Maybe you find a little bit more depth here. Maybe you grab the inside edge of your foot for a change if you'd like. Now slowly from there, bend your left knee. Step your left toes to the back of the mat again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, right knee to the ground. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands come to the ground. Slide your left foot back. Pivot on your right knee. Take it up and over. So now option here is to slide your right foot in line with your left. Pick your left leg up, bend your knee, drop your foot back, and take it into a wild thing. You can also do one of the other variations that we did before. Left hand to the ground, pivot, take your left leg up, and release it down. That was kind of a funky transition, but If you missed it on that side, we'll get it on the second side. Inhale, lift your right leg up, open up your hip. Exhale, step your right foot forward to your thumbs. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Inhale and reach up. Hug your inner thighs together. From here, lean out over your front thigh. We're going to take it into, again, Virabhadrasana 3. Now, not grabbing your foot, but keep your shoulder heads lifted. Ooh, try not to fall over. Bend your left knee. Pull your heel towards your tush. Keep it there. Bend your right knee. Place your foot down. Chair pose. Inhale. Press to stand. Exhale. Last side. Shift over into your right foot. Pin your hip into the midline. Lift your left leg. Bring your left knee in line with your right. Push your thigh bone back. Bend your knee. Perhaps take it into a dancer's pose. Maybe there's a little bit more here for you. Slowly release. Keep your right knee pushing towards the right as you step back. Reach both arms up. Inhale. Exhale, bring your left knee down to the ground. Inhale here. Sorry. Exhale, hands come down. Slide your right toes back. Pivot on your left knee. Take it into this variation that we did before. You can also lift your right foot and catch your foot. Or push into your left hand. Lift your left knee, slide your left foot next to your right, and then see if you can pick up your right leg, bend your knee, drop it back behind you, and flip it over. Exhale, right hand to the ground, right leg up, and release it down. Inhale, lift your left leg, watch your Christmas tree. Open up your hip, square your hip off. Step your left foot forward, stay on the ball of your back foot, come on up into crescent pose. Lean out over your front thigh, pinch your shoulder blades together. Hug the left hip in. Step up into Virabhadrasana 3. Now again, you're not grabbing your foot, you're just bending your right knee, using your hamstring. Keep your shoulders lifted, inhale. Now keep your right knee bent, bend your left knee, place your right toes down, chair pose. Inhale, and this time fold forward, exhale. Whew, shake it up. Okay. From here, inhale, come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, pinch your shoulder blades together. From here, you're just going to step into plank. Slowly as you can, lower to your mat. Take a nap. Nope, no naps. Arms back by your side. Forehead to the ground. Toenails anchor into the mat. Lift your thighs and spin your inner legs to the ceiling. From there, pinch your shoulder blades together. You can lift your arms. You can lift your legs. Lift your chest. Now you're welcome to stay right here. This is a great strengthener for the posterior chain. If you want a little bit more, you can bend your knees. If you want a little bit more, maybe you catch your ankles. See if you can catch them at the same time. Kick your feet into your hands. Lift your chest. Exhale, slowly release. If you had any back pain during that, that's not what we're looking for. So one of those variations, we will do a second time. Start with your forehead on the ground. Press into your toenails, engage your thighs. Draw your tailbone towards the ground. Pinch your shoulder blades together. Lift your shoulder heads first, then lift your chest. Maybe your arms and legs follow. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you bend both of your knees. Maybe reach and catch your ankles at the same time. And then kick your feet into your hands. Pretend you're at the front of the Titanic like Leo. Ooh. And then exhale, lower down. Slowly release. You can make a little pillow for your head if you like. Shake your hips out. Inhale. Exhale. Now from here, take your right arm out to the side and bring your left hand next to your ribs. Pick your left foot up, bend your knee, roll over onto your right side body for a little shoulder opener, a little twist. If you feel any back pain, back off of it. Slowly lower back down to the ground with the control of your left hand. And then take your left arm out to the side, right hand next to you. Roll over to your left side body. Slowly with control, lower back down to the ground. Push up onto hands and knees. And just simply cross over your ankles and come into a seated position. Cross one shin in front of the next first, and we're just going to do some seated cat-cows here. So on the inhale, gently pull forward. We've done a lot of this today though, so don't feel like you have to overdo it. Exhale and round. But this one, let's hold for a breath. Tuck your chin and lean back. Don't let go of your knees, but if you did let go, you'd fall. Inhale, again, gently forward, not overdoing it. Exhale, round, tuck your chin. One more, inhale, forward through your arms, real gentle movement. Exhale, exaggerate the rounding, lean back, frontal hip bones lift. Inhale, lift up. Take both legs forward. Take your feet about hips distance apart and flex your ankles. Now dig both heels into the ground, bring your hands next to your hips, sit nice and tall. Try to pull your thighs into their own hips. Now this might be enough on your hamstrings to stretch out. If it is, stay. If you have a little bit more in you want to round a little bit forward, that's fine. It might feel good to add a little extra thoracic rounding too after everything we did today. Don't worry about catching your feet. Don't worry about bringing your nose to your knees. That doesn't matter. Slowly walk your hands back in. Slide your tush towards your heels. Bend your knees. Reach your arms forward. Slowly lower to your back. Once you're there, hug your knees into your chest. You might even bring your forehead up to your knees. I sometimes like to grab the outside edges of my feet, kick my feet into my hands, and really stretch out my upper back a little bit. Slowly lower back down to the ground. Bring your feet to the floor, knees bent, and just very gently windshield wiper side to side. We're gonna stretch the hip flexor one more time. Drop the knees over to the right. Keeping your feet wide, very gentle lift of your frontal hip bones. Back to center, drop your knees to the left. Again, feet are wide. It's not necessarily a spinal twist. Inhale, come back to center. And then just let your feet stay wide, knock your knees together, rest your hands maybe on your belly, your heart, or out to the side, and just pause. Feel your backside melt into the mat. Let go of any effort in your shoulders and in your jaw. And now maintaining a sense of ease, take a deep breath in through your nose, lift your belly, hold it when you're full. Sigh out your mouth. As always, I encourage you to stay here for a few minutes and surrender into a shavasana. Thank you for your practice today.